The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Yeah. NY born, NY built.
What is up, yo?
Vanilla
Happy
Gorilla,
Sunday,
Big Dog,
another Sunday
Untouchables.
with
Let's
your
go.
favorite
Step in the
hostess
ring like kings
with
of the block.
most.
Gorilla grip, Big Dog, never stop. Iron in the veins, no gimmicks, no props. This is hard work, black top and body slops. Ain't no flash, just fists and fake. We run through ropes like we run through
It
gates.
can't be. This is crazy. And if nobody at home knows who this guy is, this is the Big Dog. And he did get a tip from the Brooklyn Prodigies earlier on that they had travel issues, but not due to them being scared or anything like that. But oh my gosh, the Vanilla Gorilla and the Big Dog and the Untouchables just inserted themselves into this tag team.
Elbows harder than a steel trash can. One shot, knock 'em flat on sight. Two beats bred for the spotlight fight. They can talk tough, bark loud all night, but in the ring, we bite and we bite right. We are untouchables, NY bred. Two fists swinging, leave legends dead. Joey bring the rage, Dave bring the brain. Together we storm like a runaway train. Untouchable, New York style. We don't tap, we make 'em snap.
What is up? What is up, everybody? What's happening? What's happening? That is us, the BIG, the DOG, and we are live here today, Sunday Fun Day. What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing? I am your host with the most, the Big Dog, and that is the Vanilla Gorilla.
Yeah.
You know what? How about we just end the podcast today?
I said, hi, relax.
Let's get it over with.
No,
Have a good day.
no.
Guys. Take care.
What are you doing?
Staring out this hotel window, many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move one from over there. Give the kids a little scare. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town.
Yo, what up, everybody? Sorry about that. I had to get everything set up. Still got to finish plugging in the computer, but that's okay. Everything will be all right. Don't worry. We're here. It's Sunday, another interesting Sunday, to say the least. But that's okay. It's always a fun day when we're here. Well, sometimes fun. So there's a lot to talk about. As far as everything goes from last night, today, there's a lot that's going to happen and a lot that's going to go on. But we are waiting on our guest. As you guys can see, we have Bunny Droppings coming on to talk about his cigars with us and kind of explain us. Nah, I put plastic over my window so it's not so cold out here. I had to. I had to put I had to put it up so it wasn't so cold out here. Otherwise, it would have been freezing. But I'm gonna light up my cigar. It is snowing here, so there's that. Yeah, it must be nice to be 72 degrees there, Danny. Must be nice. It's snowing here, so yeah. I'm gonna light up this, my Tattoo I Hate tattoo. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, today we have Bunny Droppings coming on. Obviously, I was running a little late today. I didn't have a chance to put up a nice creative caption for you guys. That's on me. It's okay, though, because we're still here, and that's what we do. Now, I guess the buzz of the industry is last night's Saturday Night Main Event show. And the official in-ring retirement of John Cena. 25 years. 23 years, sorry. 23. My apologies. I was wrong. 23 years
Debuted in 2002. He's been through many eras, defined the business, left it in a better place than when he got it. Wrestled his final match against Gunther last night, which was actually a very, very, very good match. The video packages they did for him was great. Everybody thanking him for everything he did. You know, they're going to leave the business in a better place than when he got here. And, you know, it was, for a lot of fans, it was a very sad time. But the show overall was great from start to finish. You included NXT. You included Cody, Bayley. You know, you had everybody who defined, you know, who's defining eras, who's the past, the present, the future. You know, and it was a memorable night for everybody. The ending of the match, I mean, was kind of but you say but it was a good match. The ending made sense. And if you guys didn't catch it, when he tapped out, he smiled as if to say, you know, it's over. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. It's over. He's finally done. You know, he's still going to be able to be part of the company as an ambassador for the next 5 years. So he's done from in-ring stuff, but he will not be retiring completely, as he's retired from in-ring, but as far as working with the company behind the scenes with the younger talent, whatever, he will still be involved in that aspect. And I mean, that's a good thing for the business overall, because he is somebody, like they said, who's defined not only the business, but, you know, the eras, and remade and reinvented the business from when he was there. He's the only guy that's probably been on top no matter when he came back, 23 years. I think he's the only guy to be on top that long. I mean, obviously, you got to go away for a little while, come back. That's just what it is. But I wish they would have done more as far as his retirement tour. I wish it would have been a lot longer. He wanted a longer retirement tour. They told him no. So, hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. There we go. That's better. Now we're set to go. Got the microphones on. It's okay. So, yeah. So, like I said, it was a good night last night. Very interesting. Cody and Obafemi's match was good. To open the show was a fantastic match. Then you had Bayley versus Sol Ruca. And then you had the tag team match, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the world champs, against Javon Evans and Leon Slater, the TNA X Division champion, the youngest champion to ever do it. That was a phenomenally fast-paced match from the get-go, from start to finish. And then, you know, at the end of everybody's match, they all stood in the middle of the ring and gave their salute and tribute to John Cena, as if to say thank you. And I mean, listen, it was an emotional night for wrestling fans for the last 23 years. Sorry, 23. I got to get it right. My apologies. I keep adding time on. My fault. I would say the whole card from top to bottom was probably, I would say that was not only because of the emotion that went into all the matches, but overall the production, the matches. Big match. John had one left in him. He just came up a little short against Gunther. But I would say that was probably a 5-star card overall. Absolutely. From start to finish, all the matches were great. NXT talent showed out. TNA talent and Leon Slater showed out with Javon Evans against AJ and Dragon Lee. I feel like there might be a lot more to come for Javon and Leon Slater. That's got some legs. That tag team. That tag team's got some legs. I was very, very, very impressed by it. They almost had a quick smash and grab in the beginning with they had a quick smash and grab in the beginning with Leon Slater and Javon Evans. Hold on, guys. Come on, really? Oh, shit.
What happened?
I unplugged it. Give me a second. Because it was falling, and I didn't want it to fall. It wasn't an intentional unplug. There we go. All right. All right. Now, we're back. Okay. No, I did not think that show was bad at all. A lot of people did. I did not think it was a bad show. I definitely think there was a lot of emotion involved. And not only was there a lot of emotion, a lot of nostalgia involved with John and One Last Time. You know, I think they did it right. They gave him the proper send-off. And people are mad he lost. But if you think about it, everybody that's retired has lost their retirement match. Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. Who else was it? I saw it last night. There was a bunch of them but it makes sense to put over the younger talent on your way out the door. And he's so heavily involved with those guys that, you know, it means more to him to put them over than to get a win on his way out. That's just my opinion. Not everybody's got the same feelings. Not everybody's got the same anything, you know. I thought it was great. People didn't. I enjoyed it. You know, it was crazy to watch somebody that's been on everybody's televisions each and every week for the last 23 years. Call it a career, but at the same time, you know, guys like him who have done it this long deserve to be celebrated the way he was. Granted, like you said, a retirement tour. He was ready for 220 dates that year. This year, they wanted him for 36. I get they made it an attraction, but I think each and every week would have made it more of a, you know, an attraction for his final match, final time in the ring. But then again, who knows? They put him on at the main event because obviously the original plan was for him to open the show. They knew if they had him open the show, that the viewership would have dropped off right after that. So they kept you on your toes the entire night, from Obafemi and Cody to Bayley and Soul to the tag team match of Javon Evans and Leon Slater versus AJ and Dragon Lee, and then to the main event. So on that note, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back.
It's been way too long since I heard your voice. felt your touch. It's been way too long since I heard your voice call my name. I don't wanna leave you now, no. Baby, don't walk away, no. It's been way too long since I heard your voice call my name. It's been way too long since I felt your touch, I need your love, I need your love, I need your love, I need your love, oh.
What is up? What is up? What is going on, everybody? It's Turnbuckles and Stogies. Follow us on all streaming platforms. You know what today is. Today's Sunday Fun Day. We had a good time last night at Toys for Tots with Cigar Army, Pugs, Coop, Terrence, and them guys. It was great. If you missed it, there'll be another one, I guess, over the summer next year.
Yep.
So, other than that, we are here, and we have our main man, the special guest host, Mr. Bunny Droppings himself.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
There he is.
What is up? What is up, player?
Morning. What's going on, yo?
What's happening? What's happening? I didn't get a chance to go get your cigars, but that doesn't matter to us because we're going to sit here and talk about your cigars all day long.
Well, hopefully not all day.
Well, I mean, so whenever
not that much to talk about.
So tell us, how did you get into doing your own cigar, and how did you come up with the name Bunny Droppings, and what makes you wear the pink outfit?
So, got into doing our own cigars. I was just like in the cigar community in general, mostly like brokering, lottoing, like higher end stuff like higher Opus and all that. And I had a buddy in Houston who worked with Gabby Caffey at the time, and I asked him if he could kind of collaborate with me and we could make something for my group. We did. It went really well. And then from there, I just kind of started climbing the ladder again, with people that I knew in the industry, and waited until I got to the point where I could do it myself.
Wow. It's a nice little story.
And then, go ahead.
How'd you come up with the name Bunny Droppings?
Well, so the bunny suit kind of was an accident. I wore it on a Herf one day and it stuck, and they're like, there's your brand right there. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. It's crazy enough. Bunny Droppings is I'm a bunny and we do limited drops. So Bunny Droppings.
I like that. That's pretty cool though, man. I mean, you don't see a lot of people that do things like that. Like, most people wear the fedoras, the cigar shirts and things like that.
Yeah,
now, when you go to events, do you wear the rabbit suit?
All day, man.
And how many of those do you have?
I have one of them. I wear them till they stand up on their own, and then I have another one made.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
so
we try not to we try to, like you said, everyone's wearing suits and fedoras and all this. And like, it doesn't have to be that serious. You don't have to be, cigars aren't only this like super hyper luxury thing,
Right.
So we try to make fun of that seriousness and still produce a solid smoke.
I got some of your cigars. I can't remember the name of them when I did a Santa thing, and I had one, and it was really, really good. But your cigars are so limited that only certain people carry them, correct?
Well, so historically, we started off as like a direct to consumer, right? Exclusively. Because we were on a small batch kind of basis. We're talking anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 cigars. As we started getting a little bit more involved, we started working with a core group of retailers. My goal is not to be in every retail shop in America, because in my opinion, that also where I'm at doesn't give back to those retailers either.
Okay.
So I'd rather have like 5 or 6, 7 brick and mortars that really fuck with me and are gonna do well with my product, and my product's gonna do well for them, rather than cannibalizing the market. And because I can get multiple stores to buy it, but only so many people out there are going to buy it from them. So,
right, because like a lot of people, they don't understand. Like, you're limited. Like, a lot of people say, who's Bunny Droppers? I said, bro, you don't know who Bunny Droppers are? I said, you got to follow him. I said, because he only drops certain cigars certain times a year. And they're like, oh, so he's just a limited guy that only wants to put out. I said, listen, he could put out one cigar a year and they sell out in a matter of minutes.
I mean, we do have a core line. We have a core line now, but it's only available at one store.
And that's the Oakdale store, correct?
Yes, the Cigar Vault, Oakdale. Yep.
Yeah, Maddie, one of my buddies, Maddie, lives out there, and he told me about it too after we spoke. So what is your core line consist? Is it like from your first cigar to the top?
No,
five?
our core line is going to be we have a Maduro, Connecticut, and an Habano, and they are budget, approachable cigars.
Okay.
We didn't go any cheaper in the quality of tobaccos. We're just taking a hit on it because the goal is it's $7.50 a cigar.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'd love to try bunny droppings, but I can't find it. Or yeah, I'd love to try bunny droppings, but I don't know if I can trust a $12 cigar on a grown man in a pink bunny suit. So this is a way to either give back to people who have tried and appreciate our brand and give them a little bit more of an approachable, accessible cigar, or people that are wanting to try the brand a little bit more of a risk-free situation.
So now, where are your cigars made? In what state? What country?
So we work with different countries, mostly the Dominican and Nicaragua.
Okay.
Just kind of depends on the project and what I'm wanting to do with it.
Okay.
Now, we did partner up with the folks over at Segura to make heavy metal, and that was made in Honduras. That was the first one since our first cigar that has been made in Honduras. And it went pretty well out of Reyes Cubanas.
So now, how do you come up with all these crazy names of your cigars?
That's the fun part, man. I mean, the main reason why I wanted to do this was it gave me a creative outlet to express my dark, sick, twisted humor. So, I mean, I'll wake up at 3 a.m. and be like, oh, what if we did something called, Prison Wallet and make a middle finger with lube on it? Yeah, let's do that. I'll write down a piece of paper and go back to bed.
Just pop up and write it down, and that's the next cigar.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I have a running list of just ideas that pop in my head. I write them down, and then depending on what we want to do for the cigar, or time of year or whatever, we'll.
Well, that's pretty cool, man, because it's crazy that guys like you, Matt Booth, and them guys, it's like you're just yourself. You're just yourself. Like when we had Matt on, we were talking to Matt, and Matt was standing there cutting an apple, and he's just like you. He's like your average everyday Joe,
average everyday guy.
He just sits there and like it's not where he's sitting there and like, well, when I started and this and that and da da da. It's like you jump up out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, come up with a name and write it down.
Yeah, it's not rocket science.
Right. Any questions for Mr. Bunny Droppings?
You did how he came up with the name and everything like that.
He wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning and writes it down.
I mean, sometimes that's when the best ideas happen.
Oh yeah.
Or when you're just kind of sitting around throwing names at each other, and it's just like somebody be like, wait a second, you need to stop what you're doing and just use that name because that's going to work.
Well, that's how he came up with Bunny Droppings.
Yeah, and I have friends and people that will spitball and brainstorm with me, and when we did we did a soap on a rope. Someone was like, "Oh, you got to do Pruno," and I was like, "Pruno, brilliant. Let's do it." You know, so
Yeah, because you've had some interesting names for some cigars over the years that I've seen that have made surfaces,
made impacts.
You had the soap on the rope, then you had the BBW, you have the heavy metal. There was a few other ones that I've seen come out, and then you had the
Prison
little
Wallet. Don't forget Prison Wallet. That was a good one.
Yes, Prison Wallet. Prison Wallet was another one. Yeah, those names alone have made people buy cigars just because the names they're funny, they're catchy, but the cigars behind them are really good too.
And some people save them because they're like, "Oh, we don't know when they're going to come out again." I said, "Well, they probably won't."
Yeah. I mean, that's the fun part, right? Is we can have fun with the branding and the names and all that. And that's all cool and fun and dandy. That'll get someone to buy your stuff maybe one time. But if your cigar sucks, then that's it, right? So you got to make sure that the product itself doesn't suck so you can have these ridiculous names that people will have no choice of saying, "Man, I really loved this super homoerotic."
I mean,
cigar.
hey, listen. I mean, if you think about it, right? Because somebody pointed this out to me the other day. Technically, the name can be homoerotic, but the action of what you're doing is also homoerotic.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I mean, listen, the names do tend to fit sometimes.
Yeah. 100%.
They do tend to fit, and it's the fact that you put the time and effort in behind your cigars too before you even put them out with the name to make sure, like you said, they have that impact.
Yeah.
Of your naming, and then the product behind it stands its weight. And that's hard to find now, I feel like, a lot of times.
Well, I think at our size and scope of work, we don't really have the luxury of making many mistakes.
Right.
If we were making 100,000 cigars a quarter, and 5% of those sucked, they could blow that off and just say, "Oh well, no big deal."
Yeah, absolutely.
5% of us would just crush us.
No, that.
So how many cigars do you make a year?
Like that's a kind of a tricky answer to make, because we do a lot of like private stuff too for like Discord groups or weddings, my daughter's graduating, stuff like that. So, and I also help out other smaller boutique brands. So how much we make as bunny droppings, like in a calendar year for our brand independently, I would say maybe 20 to 25,000.
And that's including your core lines and the limited drops.
No. So I guess including the core line and including like all the smaller outside projects, we're less than 50. Okay.
No, and it's funny when we talked to you and you said that Cigar Vault and Oakdale had your core line. I and not that I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't know you had an actual core line of cigars. I always thought you had the limited drops.
Well, yeah, and so that, like I was telling Big Dog over here that we wanted something that could be approachable for people who hadn't tried the brand yet or weren't able to get all of the limiteds because they don't pay attention on Instagram or for whatever reason. Or just people that are like, "Hey, I don't want to wait until another drop, and this is $7.50 and it's a banger of cigar." So that happens a lot too. I mean, most of the people that buy it are were already fans of the brand.
Right.
But yeah, Oakdale's the only. We had 3 different Vitolas that we were kind of playing around with, and so Oakdale was kind of the epicenter for the core line, and I think we finally nailed down the size that we're gonna do. So everything that Norm has right now is only been in Norm's possession.
Okay. So he's the only one that got him.
Yeah.
He was the only one that was allowed to have them. Yeah, and then once he runs out of those on the Habano and the Connecticut, those Vitolas are gonna change.
Really?
The Maduro's already a finished project. We had to tweak the blend on that a little bit because the first one was a little too mild for people's liking, I guess.
I was just gonna ask, was it super mild, or are you trying to make them, are you trying to have that, the Connecticut be your lighter, kind of like.
Here's the deal: not every Maduro has to be like full body,
Right.
full strength Nicaragua bomb, right?
Right.
And so I tried to make it. I would say it was probably like a medium to medium plus.
Okay.
In strength and body, and some people liked it. The majority of the people were like, "Yeah, I just expected a little bit more from the Maduro." So we said, "Okay, fine." We changed it, we tweaked it up a little bit. We put some Lajero and called it.
No, that's. But the fact that and the fact that you listened to kind of what the feedback was is a big thing too.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, it was by design that way. I mean, give
Right.
it to one store that I know does really well with a part of the community in the cigar industry. They have a whole Discord that just goes ape shit. And
their amount of cigars they carry is insane. I went online looking one day because somebody goes, "Oh," one of the guys like, "You should order from them." It's like, "Oh, they're in PA." I went looking. I'm like,
and it's all boutique. It's no bullshit.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, these are brands I've only seen like through Instagram, or some would be like only on the West Coast, but he's got them here, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Let me ask you. You remember what's his name from North Carolina that moved from California that moved to North Carolina?
Oh, he's talking about
OGT.
Eric. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you give him any of your droppings or?
We've talked. I don't know why that hasn't happened yet, because I think our brand would do really well in his shop.
Right.
I would need to follow back up on that. I think it was like a timing issue. We were trying to get him some heavy metal, and just didn't work out. So
maybe that's why he was moving from California to North Carolina.
Quite possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't blame the dude for moving though. Jesus.
No, you know what? I don't at all, because from everybody I've spoke to, whether it's brand owners or friends of mine that are out there, like, dude, the shops are getting killed with all the taxes.
Well, it's like New York. It's like New York. New York is 75% sales tax. They want to raise it to 125.
Yeah, but the thing is, New York, they can drive to a different state. California,
right?
You can't leave that state for days sometimes.
And not only that, I found out, what was it? Somebody said it too. Like, they can't even go to Washington because Washington's like 240% or something like that.
Yeah.
I found that out one night and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I said at that point, I would just give up smoking. I'm like, I wouldn't even smoke at that point. I just be like, you know what? That was fun while it lasted. You guys won. I'm good.
That's where it's important for a lot of these retail shops to be doing e-commerce too, man.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, and I've noticed a lot of shops are starting to go that way now too.
Yeah,
because they're able to, like you said, do a lot more business with guys like you, like me, people in all the other states, and now their business has gone up however much. And there's been some places that have shut down their lounges and just gone strictly to
brick and mortars.
Yeah, which is sad, because I don't
is.
want just e-commerce to be the way of the thing. Like, we didn't have lounges during COVID, and it sucked, right?
Right.
And I think it did help out with this virtual way to reach out and hang out with people, you know, all across the country or the world. But the lounge aspect, there's still something very like real and
Yes.
human about that, and we need to
Justin,
hold on to these human things as long as we can.
During COVID, we went to a lounge that we always went to in Yonkers when I lived there. Bro, we pulled up and we had a fucking window shop.
Yeah, so they had a Drew Estate event.
But you couldn't go inside. You had a window shop.
You know, obviously, you know, you couldn't go into lounges. So like every chance you got, whether it was an event either outside or whatever, you went just to get out of the house.
Right, sure.
So we went. It was me and my dad, and we called up our buddy. We're like, "Yo, they're having a Drew Estate event at such and such," because he's a driving instructor. But during COVID, he couldn't really do much because everything was virtual.
Right.
So we went, and I was like dumbfounded because I was expecting to walk in, look at everything they had. I pulled up. They're like, "Oh no, you got to stay right here."
So they showed us on the window, and I'm
I'm
like,
like,
"Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, they're like, "What do you want?" I'm like, that. They're like, "This one." I'm like, "No, this one right here." No, this one. No, this one right here. And I'm like,
this one.
Yeah, I'm like,
This-
and I'm
this one.
standing here, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I just want to go inside and cook my own stuff out.
Yeah, you're like, what am I ordering? A pack of cigarettes from the 7-Eleven?
Like it's almost like one of those drive-up gas stations. that
Yeah,
have to drive
the
up
red ones that say Marlboro.
Yeah, this Marlboro. No, that.
No, the
Marlboro,
red
but it's
ones, you
red.
idiot. Yeah.
And it just like it blew my mind, and then it made me appreciate the lounges more.
Yeah.
Because it was like not being able to go in and hang out with guys that you normally would smoke with, even if it was once a month at that lounge, because you don't get down there all the time or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it was just that aspect of not being able to do that was like mind blowing, because it's like you're sitting around, 24 hours a day, basically locked inside. And
Yeah. During COVID, I got a 8-person camping tent, and I put it in my backyard. Had an extra queen mattress in there, pillows, blankets. I got those little white miniature picket fences, put it around it, strung some Christmas lights up from the house. It was close enough to my house so the Wi-Fi connected. I put a TV in there. I lived in that motherfucker. I was just like,
and I don't blame you. If I would have had a house then, I would have did the same thing.
You know, Justin, during COVID, my wife was sick. She was in a hospital. So I was going back and forth to the hospital, and then my buddy at the time, who was a friend of mine, he's not a friend of mine no more, but he invited us to his house. We had a fucking party. We had a fucking cigar party.
It was funny because I'm like, we're supposed to be social distancing, and here we are acting like a bunch of dumbasses,
drinking tequila,
drinking and
Jack Daniels,
smoking cigars,
having a party.
Yeah.
And somebody goes, you're gonna get in trouble. I said, bro, at this point, I could care less. What are they gonna find me?
well, we all thought the world was gonna end. Everyone was just like, whatever. The world's gonna end. Let's hope I make it to the dividend check.
Yeah. So how did that during COVID? How did that affect bunny droppings?
Well, COVID is kind of the inception of bunny droppings, like most small companies. But yeah, I mean, the COVID bubble for cigars in the industry, it was the highest that the cigar industry is probably ever going to see again, in my opinion.
Holy shit.
We had nothing to do but smoke cigars. I mean, I was smoking.
It's true.
I was smoking like 10 cigars a day. It was
nothing. Something like that. I lost track after
10 cigars a day and
I couldn't even taste cigars anymore. I was just like, maybe I have COVID. No, my palate was just destroyed because
it was. And then I was
'cause-
drinking like 4 or 5 bottles of whiskey a week.
Yeah, I gained so much weight, man. I was like, it was
And,
all
it's like you said, that virtual aspect was nice because it gave us a outlet to hang out with people, even though we can't see them or we're not in person with them, but it gave us that communication aspect of essentially the outside world.
I mean, everybody was doing Zooms. Everybody.
They were doing Zooms. They were doing, Instagram lives.
Oh, Zooms. I thought you said shrooms. You're like, everyone was just doing shrooms. It was crazy time,
I mean, there probably was a lot of people doing
There
Zooms.
probably was.
Yeah.
So on that note, guys, we got to take a break, and we'll be back with bunny droppings after the commercial break. We got to pay our bill.
Whoa. Let's click.
That one.
Perfect. I am gonna.
faded tattoos of the stars and stripes, and the courage to stand and fight.
Yo, what is up? What is up? We are back. I am Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod. I am the host with the most, the big dog, the vanilla gorilla. Follow us on all streaming networks. You can check us out all over. That's who we are, because we are one of the best podcasts going, Cigars and Wrestling. And today we have Mr. Bunny Droppings with us. So I'll let you lead in.
Oh, yeah. So I gotta ask, because I've always wondered, what made you. I know you have the name Bunny Dropping, but what made you want to put the costume on too?
So it's kind of just the name Bunny Droppings is because of the costume. So it kind of worked backwards. During COVID, we were talking about how Zooms became super
right
relevant and a necessary thing. And we did this one called the Unicorn Herf, and there was like 200 people signed up for this herf.
Wow.
I was like, well, shit. One, I'm in Alaska at the time, and it's cold. I can't smoke inside. So I was like, all right, well, I need to stay warm. And two, I need to be able to get like some kind of attention grabbing if I want to be able to talk in this herf at all. So just kind of as a joke, I had this old Christmas story onesie that, you know, I got as a gift that had the big patch on it and all that.
Fantastic movie, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll wear that. So I put it on and everyone was just like, that's hilarious. And I was like, all right, well, maybe we could do something with this.
That's something I always wondered because I was like, you know, because I used to see you all the time on Instagram doing lives through COVID and stuff like that. And I'm like, I always wonder what's up with that. I said, but then I heard the name and I'm like, well, I mean, it makes sense. It like, it kind of, it helps out the brand because he goes by Bunny Droppings. That's the name of the brand. I'm like, so the costume helped. Like, it was just, I was in my head. I'm like, that all makes a lot of sense.
He was in his
Yeah, no, it was all ass backwards. You know, the name's funny because like if you break it down, it literally makes sense. Like it's a bunny who does drops, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Bunny Droppings is shit. So it's funny to sit here and say like you're smoking, you know, like our whole brand is just basically another word for shit.
Yeah.
And so it's like, in my opinion, if you're gonna put that on you, it's way easy to just be like, yeah, this brand is shit.
Right.
So I felt like we had more pressure to make sure that it wasn't.
Sure.
That way we could make fun of ourselves. And if you can't make fun of yourself, then you're not allowed to make fun of anyone, in my opinion.
Correct.
So we just let the cigar do the talking and then let people have fun with the branding.
Well, like I said, I had some of your cigars, and I got to tell you, man, not because you're here, but I always told Joey, I said, man, his fucking cigars are shit.
Yeah, I think somebody gave you one in a mail bomb from somewhere.
Yeah, we got him from the mail bomb.
Yeah, it was one of the clubs we were in, did a mail bomb, and he pulled it out, and I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, I recognize that cigar. I forget which one it was. I'm like, but I remembered the name, and I'm like, I
have the
recognize
label
that.
somewhere. We moved, and I got to find everything again.
I'm like, I know that label. I'm like, that's and I said to him, like, that's Bunny Drops. He goes, yeah, it is. He goes, you know what? He goes, I wonder how that person got it. So he asked them. And they're like, oh yeah, I followed him on Instagram. They're like, he dropped it and somebody posted it. And then I found him through them. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then, you know, I had seen you do a lot of lives during COVID with like the cigar clowns and stuff like that. And then that's when I had really gotten, you know, kind of exposed to you and your brand was through them.
So we'd like to kind of do more of like a guerrilla type marketing and let like the people that follow us and that are, you know, I don't want to say dedicated because that sounds kind of lame, but the people that, you know, genuinely follow our progress and stuff like that and enjoy the brand, they're always going to get a one-up leg on the people that are late to the game, right? And that's how I reward you. Like, if you're a good Instagram follower, then you're gonna get first crack. Because I don't do a whole lot of like, hey, this is coming out on this day. This is coming out on this day. I just go on Instagram. I'm like, hey, look, you have 24 hours before I drop this. Go get it. And if it's gone, it's gone. Like, do better next time.
Yeah. No, like I remember when we did that with the challenge coins that you had.
Yep.
The little Bunny Droppings coins.
By the way, do you have any more of those left?
I do. I don't have any more of the gold or silver ones, but I do have some of the bronze or rose gold ones.
All right, I'll hit you up after the show.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember when you did those, and I was like, oh. I was like, that's interesting. I said, and then you showed it doubled as a cigar rest too, and I'm like, see, I'm like that. Like, I like the unique stuff like that.
So how did you come up with that?
Dude, that is one of the coolest cigar accessories, in my opinion, out there. So the way we came out there, I was in the military, right? So we did challenge coins, obviously. And then I know a good buddy of mine JD, and he made these like very low profile challenge coins that had a recess in the bottom of them, where you could put it on the table and basically just hang your cigar off of the table without it rolling out, right? So you didn't need an ashtray, didn't need a big old stand, and they were super easy to carry around. So I got with him and I was like, look, I want to make a bunny coin, you know, I wanted it to be a cigar stand, you know, sitting on the ears or whatever. And him and his manufacturers worked on it and busted it out like it was nothing.
Wow.
It was pretty cool, man.
That is, I have to say, you are right. That's probably the most inventive one I've seen so far as like cigar rests go.
So now, the cigars, is that all you do, or do you have a regular 9 to 5?
No, this is it, man. This is it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it didn't always start off that way, but this isn't a hobby to me. And it's something that I want to grow and take seriously. As hard as that may believe, I do take this seriously. So, yeah, I stepped aside.
Listen, but even by wearing that costume, so to say, you're showing how serious you take it, because you're actually putting on the bunny costume to go along with your brand when you're advertising it.
So now,
you think this is fun to wear in Vegas in July at 115 degrees? No.
That's probably
you
not
got
a
to sweat
good
to
idea.
make them wet. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So
of course.
you wear the bunny suit to the events, correct?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm wearing it to every podcast, every interview, anything related to the brand I'm wearing the suit, because let's be real. You guys would have been disappointed had I not shown up in this.
Are you the only owner of the brand? Or
after seeing you do all the shows, I might have been a little disappointed. Like, man, I wish you wore the bunny suit.
Yeah.
Because it fits you and it fits the brand. That's kind of how you built yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So are you the only owner, or is there other partners?
I do have a partner that works on the logistical side. But yeah, other than that, I mean.
So now, when you got into this and you went to your wife and said, hey, listen, or your girlfriend, I'm not sure, and you said, hey, I'm going to start my own cigar brand, what did she say?
Well, at the time when I started, I'm no longer with that person. And she just kind of had to deal with it, because I paid all the bills, you know. So.
I mean, listen, if you're paying them all and you're saying I'm going to do this, there's really nothing you can fight about.
Right. Yeah. So no, it was cool. I mean, my current wife, she met me knowing that I did this, right? And at first she was kind of like, what the hell am I getting into?
Get myself into? This guy wears a rabbit
Yeah.
suit.
And then she's like, oh shit, it's actually like a legitimate business. Okay, cool.
Right.
And then she ran with it. So
Well, that's like my wife, because before my wife got sick 6 years ago, we were supposed to start our own cigar line.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody said to me, what does your wife think? My wife goes, do what you want to do. Just make sure the money keeps coming in. You got to pay bills. Obviously, it's not like make sure the money comes in, I'm going to get my nails done. It's make sure the money comes in that we can pay the fucking bills.
Well, yeah, and this is not the cigar industry is not.
It's not a lucrative business.
No, it's not. It's a business of pennies and nickels, man. Like the people that are making money own their own factories, they own their own shops, and then the sales guys, like the brand owners, are at the bottom of that list, and you have to be moving some serious quantity to make it super lucrative. And that's that's my goal, and you're not going to get there if you don't get there. So
now, how many events do you do a year? Do you do any events in New York and New Jersey?
I have not yet, but we're wanting to. We've been talking about it, because I do like a 90, not 90, but a vast majority of our our clientele is in the Northeast.
Okay.
So New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut,
Right.
Pennsylvania. You know, that's where a lot of our business goes.
Well,
And
shit,
it's
I know
probably
we live right around the corner from somebody that buys your cigars all the time. Chris Pugs, always buying your cigars.
Yeah.
We were actually
Yeah,
with
so-
him last night at a cigar army event.
We definitely want to get out there. It's just hard because to partner with a store out there to make an event happen
Right.
is hard because my $12 cigar is now a $70 cigar if it's in their shop, and
Yeah.
so it's kind of hard. But we do events at the Cigar Vault in Oakdale, Club Humidor in Texas. We do events there at least yearly, sometimes biannually. But yeah, we're gonna start moving around, and hopefully some of these partnerships that we've been working on are gonna allow us to be able to move about the cabin a little bit more freely here in the very near future.
When is the next droppings coming out?
So the next one should be coming out, I would say probably January or February,
Okay.
and it'll be a full box product
Okay.
out of the DR, and it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be called Anti-Drama Drama Club.
Nice.
And
He
yeah,
woke up at
it'll
3:00 in the morning and came up with the name.
yeah.
I mean, listen,
Well,
there's a brand out there, not drama, but it's like I know where that comes from because they have a brand called Antisocial Social
Yep.
Club.
Yes.
Yep.
So that once you said that, I'm like, you're like I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, that came from. It's just a play on words.
Yeah. Well, and anyone who's been following my brand knows that I've been involved inadvertently with a little bit of drama in the cigar industry. And so, play on that. And
Yeah, of course.
Listen, that's the best way to play, bro. Play on what people think you are.
yeah,
People
I
think
mean,
I'm drama too, and I tell them all the time. I just keep
Yeah.
playing on it. I'll be the biggest drama in the world.
yeah. We all love a little drama. We could lie and sit here and say we don't, but
Yeah,
it makes for
it's
good
fun.
showbiz,
It's fun, and then like now I'm just kind of like, ever since we've started this, it's just kind of like now they're like, oh, so and so said this about you. I'm like, tell them I said thank you.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not. I'm like, I don't have to respond. I said, why would I respond? I said, number one, I don't want to ruin what I have going here.
Mhm.
I said, and if they're thinking about me, I said that means I'm on their mind all the time, and
Yeah.
I'm living
That means
rent
I'm
free in
renting-
their head.
Yeah, live rent free, man.
I'm renting space in your head.
I said, so
Yeah.
why am I going to talk about them if I'm already renting space in their head?
Yeah, in this economy, living rent free anywhere is great, man. So
Absolutely, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Listen, we had a guy
can't beat free marketing
all
either.
the time, and God rest him. I mean, listen, the guy's in a hospital now on life support. I wish no ill will against him. I hope he survives. But God don't like ugly, bro. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people, man. I don't have to come on here no more and go back at you. It's gonna come back to you. Karma's a mofo. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I just, I do what I'm gonna keep moving the way I move and do what
And
I
that's
do.
the way you got to do it.
Keep moving in that bunny suit, baby.
So how did you come up? I know you said you kind of, if it comes to you, kind of write it down no matter what time of day it is. But like your heavy metal cigar, how did you come up with that and the Vitola and the shape of it?
Well, so that was actually a partnership cigar that I did with Segura.com, and they actually took kind of the reins on the cigar itself.
Okay.
And with that being a bigger company or a company from a bigger umbrella, we had to get a little bit more PC with the branding. They don't like to kind of play in the more risque branding. So it's basically just a play on like heavy metal poisoning. If you see the rat, he's got the eyes and he's the drummer and stuff like that. And
Okay. No,
it was our way of sneaking in our style of branding,
Right.
but making it
More PC for the culture.
yeah,
so to
more commercialized, I guess.
Now, your cigars, because I know like you did I don't remember what the size was, but I know you said you did the BBW and stuff like that. When you play with names like that, do you put like specific sizes to kind of coincide?
Yeah, sometimes. So yeah, like BBW, we knew it would have to be like a real thick cigar, right? So I think BBW 2.0 was like a 5x60 or something like that, 5.5x60, something like that.
That's
so
crazy.
just short and thick. And then Prison Wallet was a solid one, so it was a perfect inserting shape cigar.
Sounds like Matt. Just
Yeah.
inserting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Well,
are
that
you
was a
inserting?
collaboration. That was a collaboration. So,
Oh, was it?
yeah.
What were you inserting?
Now, do you work with any specific factories, or do you kind of do like, whoever's got kind of what you're looking for?
We have like factories that we predominantly work with, but we aren't like tied down to any one factory.
Okay.
So yeah, if there's something off the wall, like if we want to use Negrito or African Cameroon or something like that, that they may not mess with or have access to, or a whole lot of experience working with, then we'll go with the factory that does. Luckily, I have some pretty good contacts through relationships that I've made that we can do stuff like that.
Of course. Now, do you blend your cigars, or do you do like, I guess, white label projects as they're called, or something like that?
So we have done some white label stuff for like private things, like weddings or social stuff. Like I'll have blends that we have kind of queued up that we have sitting for maybe the following year or whatever, that we haven't used before yet. And if they only want 1,000 cigars, then we're not gonna go and have 1,000 cigars blended for you. So
right.
In that aspect, we have done some white labels like that. But yeah, for the most part, we work with the factory. I mean, obviously, I'm not a master blender. I'm not a blender. That's
right.
The blender's job. But we will talk about what we need, what we want. We'll let them do what they're experienced in and experts in.
Right.
They'll send it. We'll work with them. We'll tweak it if need be until it's right, and then off to production.
Right. Now, I like to ask this to everybody who, like you, kind of has a hand in blending that may not blend it completely like the master blender does, but, test it to make sure it's right. What's that process like? Because it's always interesting to find everybody's takes on the process.
It's a patient process. You have to be patient on it, and you can't be afraid to make changes, right? And it's kind of fun as you start doing it too, because when you're smoking these little like Puritos or Fumas, you're sitting here with 3 of them, and they're all just a single leaf wrapper, and so you get to see like, you really get to pick up those notes at that point, and then it kind of starts like clicking. You're like, oh wow, it makes so much sense now, and so it's a fun process. It can get a little exhausting. Sometimes they take longer than they need to. I mean, I've been working on this one cigar for 4 years now. It's just, in my opinion, like we can't get it there.
Is it because of like maybe the aging or anything like that, or was the blend just not where you wanted it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty important project to me. Like it's close to home and near and dear to my heart. So it's got to be like the one.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's got to be like the cigar that I have envisioned. Yeah. So, and it is what it is. Like if it gets there, it gets there, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But I'm not gonna settle I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, that's good enough.
Right.
It's also difficult sometimes because, you know, I have my own palate and preference in cigars, and I know that that's not everyone's cup of tea.
Right.
So you also have to make blends that aren't necessarily just for you. You gotta make stuff that the consumer base wants or that your customers want.
Absolutely. Now,
And
the new cigar that you said you're putting out is a box product. Is it going to be 10, 20, 25 count? You know,
it'll be a 10 count box. Yeah.
Okay.
And what's that going to go for?
Right now that's not 100% confirmed, so don't quote me because, you know, logistics at the end play a lot into that price. But I think we're going to be shooting around $12 MSRP.
Okay,
that's not bad.
That's not bad,
Yeah.
Especially
so-
for a smaller boutique brand like yourself. You know, it's
Yeah. I think we did 3,000 of this product.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to get my hands on those.
So 3,000. So what is
So
it?
300 boxes.
I was just gonna say, was it 3,000 cigars? So then they have 300 boxes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my
So that
hands
means
on those.
once they're gone, they're gone.
They ain't coming back.
So
Correct.
if you can snag 2 boxes a person,
Now, are you
Mhm.
putting a limit on how many they can purchase, or
You can buy 300 if you want.
I was gonna say that's just up to the shop itself.
Yeah, so they'll be it's another partnership with Segura.com. So they'll have them for like the first week. They'll get first crack at it. And then if there's anything left or whatever's left, we'll open up to retailers to purchase.
Okay. No, I like, especially doing partnerships with companies like that. It gives you a chance to kind of expand your audience.
Yeah. And it helps both parties. I mean,
right. And
it helps them get people that, in my opinion, would not traditionally shop on that website.
Right.
We're kind of a different thing, and I think that's why it's beneficial to them. They get customer acquisition, and then I get the same thing. I get customer acquisition and visibility.
I've heard of them before. I think I went looking on there. They popped up for something like that. Somebody said they had a sampler or something that was actually Segura. Segura.com.
Segura.
And somebody had said they had a good sampler, so I went on and looked. They don't have terrible prices though, which is nice. They don't try to overkill.
Yeah, their prices are pretty good. Yeah,
they don't try to overkill you on cigars. And I think like me, I like when like people like you or other people partner with them and do like exclusives for them only, even though like you said it's only going to be the first week. But doing the exclusivity to like them or maybe Cigar Vault, Oakdale, or somebody else, you might do a blend specifically for them where you can only get it there.
Yeah. We have something like that right now called the Robber Wabbit at Cigar Vault. We did it for the Discord group DAC, Dirty Ash Community, that Norm is the founder of. And it was like a collaboration, the vault. So it was me breaking into the bank, and it's a nice little Habano torpedo cigar for them, and that's a good one. We've done exclusives for like luxury. We've done exclusives with Club Humidor. So, like I said, I like to keep my circle tight.
Right.
And if they're good to me, I'm good to them, and I know that shop exclusives are beneficial. So.
Absolutely. And what is it? Because I've always wondered this. Do they reach out to you to do it, or do you reach out to them? Like, in a sense of like luxury, did they reach out to you to do something with them?
I think originally, our relationship started. They had reached out and wanted to snag something up and see how it went, and it went really well, and we've been able to just keep moving.
No, that always, I'm always wondering about stuff like that. When like the clowns got with Smoking and they got with these guys, and you have luxury and these ones are with this one. I've always wondered how those relationships start. Of like, do you reach out to them? Do they reach out to you? And I think
it's
just
a culmination, man.
Right.
I'm on the phone all day, every day, like cold calling, checking with contacts, current customers, previous customers, and just seeing like, is there anything we can do for you? Is there anything, is this interested, trying to build those relationships, but it's a culmination of both. I mean, if you're good to the community is going to be good to you, and it's a lot easier to get stuff done that way.
Yeah, no,
if you're a shit bag, no one's going to work with you.
Of course, and I worked for a company for a little while, and that cold calling is the hardest part.
Yeah,
especially if they're
fun.
not even, especially if they're not a customer,
or they give you that,
like that cold call email or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the hardest part because it's like you don't hear back from them, and you're following up, a couple weeks later, or the next week, and then 2 weeks after that, and it's like, what point do you draw the line of not reaching out anymore, or it's kind of like a
you don't.
you want to keep going.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what I, because I've told people, like, I worked for I think it was 6 months for a company. They brought me on. They gave me my shot in the industry, so to say, on the retailer side. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's easy." I'm like, "It's not as easy as you think."
It's not easy.
They're like, "No," I'm like, I said, especially if it's a smaller company, I'm like, it's not as easy to get your cigars in stores.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if you're working for a Hoya de Nicaragua or Quesada or Drew Estate or Fuente, so you could walk in and go, "Here's who I work with." I said, and 99% of the time, they'll take you just right off of who you work with.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't think getting into the stores is the difficult part. But I don't want to just sell a store cigars and then them just sit there forever.
Right.
It's not good for me. It's not good for the shop, and it's not good for the relationship, right? Because they're not going to reorder.
Right.
So I think the real part that is hard is not finding a shop, but finding a shop that is going to be a good fit for you and your brand, that is going to be beneficial to both parties.
Right.
If they sell your product and they sell it well, then they're going to reorder, right? And that everyone gets a piece of the change there, and you open up a new part of your market. But that's really we've worked with some retailers, and it wasn't a fit, so we didn't work with them again. Whether it was on my side or their side, it is what it is.
Well, Justin, we appreciate you coming on, brother. We're winding down, bro. We'll stay in touch.
For sure, I'm gonna make sure this right before the new year, I want to try to order some of your cigars to get them in my hands to smoke like you said, the size that Cigar Vault has for sure. They
have, I think, 4 different cigar options right now in stock.
Okay.
So we'll reach out to you as soon as we get them, and maybe have you back on after the new year, brother.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Anytime.
All right, brother. Have a good night. Take care. Enjoy your Christmas with your family, bro.
You guys as well. Take care.
Thank you. So there you have it, guys.
Bro. Bunny Droppings.
That was a fun interview.
Good friend of ours. I talk to him all the time. Another friend of ours.
Our time up there doesn't match the actual time. That's our fault. That's my fault.
We're going to sign off, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod. Check us out on all streaming networks, and we'll see you next Sunday. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.